Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, if you're new here, my name is Hannah, I am 26 years old, and I haven't been on here for a little while. I thought we'd just chit chat and do a shop my stash. So none of this makeup is new. Well, some of it is new-ish in that you haven't seen it, but most of it's just been in my drawer for a while. So I just thought we'd do something a little bit chilled and use makeup that maybe I haven't shown on here, but that's been sitting in my collection that I haven't pulled out and used in a little while. I feel like there's a little bit of a shift happening in that maybe we don't need so much crap in our lives. And we should be kind of using what we've had, and so I'm going to do the same today. Let's get into using some stuff. As you can see, my skin pretty fucking good at the moment, thank you. I don't know what's happening, I don't know why. I have been really into more skincare lately, been really looking into ingredients, so I think that probably has made a massive difference. Please excuse a little bit of burning on my forehead. Zanzibar was hotter than the sun. And also because I was wearing makeup and I was there for work and we were shooting on a beach, I was not allowed to apply as much sunscreen over the top of makeup as I normally would, hence I have a little bit of burning. Don't know how that's okay, but apparently in my job that's fine. So yeah, don't recommend. I always put sunscreen on anyway. I'm really good about it. Every day I wear sunscreen, but I just have a little bit of redness here, so if you're wondering what that is, that's what that is. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the Milk Makeup because it is my tan colour. This is the Flex Concealer, and I'm just, oh, bollocks, I didn't bring a mirror with me. I have literally sat over here and not got any brushes. Okay, we're back. I have a handful of brushes now. I have not filmed in so long that I feel very strange being sat here, so I'm just warning you. I'm all over the place. We might do a little bit of chit-chatting and updating you as well while I do this, but it's going to be, I don't know, natural-ish, kind of what I do every day. Very light makeup, using a bunch of stuff that I've had sitting in my drawer. So, as I said, first thing I'm going to do is actually use the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer. This is in the colour medium. And I'm going to pop this under my eyes. Oh, what I was going to say is, yes, I think my skin's especially good because I've been really taking care of my skin. Normally I have some serious hormonal breakouts going on when I have my period, and it's just not happened this time. I had like maybe one tiny one on my chin, which is really nothing to write home about at all. And I know that some of you guys maybe that really struggle with full-blown acne and stuff, there are obviously other options, speaking to your GP, looking at your diet and all that kind of stuff, stress, hormones. Sometimes we can't help it, like it's really horrible when your skin is playing up. And I have been sharing a lot of my kind of skin issues that mainly come up here really, and occasionally a few on my skin. But what I was going to say is that when we're doing makeup and we're talking about glowy skin and all of that kind of stuff, I don't see a lot of people talking about a really good skincare regime. And I think prepping your skin in general by having a really good skincare regime is very, very important, and sunscreen is very, very important, and looking after yourself is very, very important. And then also prepping your skin just before you do makeup, full makeup. So my skin is quite normal and balanced. I'm a little bit sort of drier on my cheeks, and I get like a little bit oily towards the end of the day down the centre of my face, which is quite normal. In the winter I tend to be a little bit on the drier side, so for me I can use a kind of medium type moisturiser or something with a bit of glow underneath my foundation, and I don't really need to use a primer, and that is fine. If you have very oily skin, prep your skin for makeup application. If you know you get oily, moisturise, but use a mattifying moisturiser or a mattifying primer or something like that. And if you're a bit of a mixture, then use different products. So maybe use something a little bit heavy on the cheeks, and then down the centre of the face use something mattifying. So that first step is really, really important to getting really nice base makeup, because if you're not looking after your skin, you're not exfoliating, you're not using sunscreen, then all of that kind of stuff is obviously going to make a difference. So I'm popping, oh my god, you could, this is this is so bad that this is oh, you can see this has really upset me because I'm very careful about the sun. I mean, I love when I've got a tan, but you guys know I tend to fake tan. In the summer I go like quite a bit darker naturally anyway, but this has really annoyed me. Like, I know that if someone's done my makeup and I'm at work, obviously popping sunscreen and stuff over the top is really difficult and annoying. Also, like, sun safety, come on, like, I'm actually a person. It just irritates me anyway. I'm going to put a little bit around my nose and a little bit on my chin. And this is what I mean. So when I do that other skin video, I probably will use a little bit more product than this, but it's all about just popping it where you need it. And I find on a day-to-day basis, why do I want to cover my face if my skin is pretty good? I really want to kind of show you guys how you can look beautiful and you can have a flawless coverage and it can look like skin and you can look good in person. And it's not actually that difficult. That is actually... Look, I have a couple of marks here. I'm going to leave them. You don't need to do all that stuff. And actually, once the kind of more colour stuff is on my face will immediately look more kind of put together anyway. If you are going to use less product, I always like to concentrate down the centre of the face. I literally just poke myself in the nose. Because generally speaking, unless you have like, you know, if you've got blemishes and stuff you want to cover, then absolutely do that. But on a day-to-day basis, I kind of concentrate underneath my eyes because that is where I get a little bit of shadow, and then I take it over the eyelids to get rid of any kind of vein tones. If I'm feeling particularly kind of blue, I will put a little bit of peachy colour corrector, and I mean a little bit, just in the deepest part in here, and then pop concealer over the top. But generally it's just the centre of the face, because as you get towards the edges of the face, most people have like better skin around here anyway. I mean, you can still see that little bit of burn, but what am I going to do, you know? The answer to that is I'm not going to worry about it. So I've been really into using more cream products. This is, again, another product from Milk Makeup, and this is the Baked Bronzer. In the colour, it's a matte bronzer, even though it's kind of a cream. I would say it's like a cream to powder finish, and it's in the colour Baked. Oh, the name is Baked. It's their cream bronzer, and it's in the colour Baked. You can do this on your face. I don't like that. I just don't. You can, if you want, you can work a bit into the back of your hand and do it that way. I take this e.l.f. brush, which fell apart and I super glued. This is the highlighting brush, apparently. I actually use it for this kind of cream bronzer. I just think it's really nice. This is not a particularly heavy kind of bronzer, and it does have mine maybe is looking a little bit dirty. It has a little bit of a sheen. You can always put a little bit of powder bronzer over the top, or you can, if you are more oily, use a little bit of powder bronzer. So I'm gonna take this over my cheeks and around the edges of my forehead. I mean, not that my fucking forehead needs more colour here, but we're gonna do it anyway. So just pick up more as you need it. I just really like the way this kind of seamlessly blends into the skin. They do a darker colour as well, so if you are darker than me, then there is something for you. I just really like the texture of this. For me, I think makeup is about nice textures. I'd like to take it a little bit under the chin as well. I'm not that bothered about my makeup looking really perfect, but I think it just looks really beautiful overall if you're using nice textures. As I've got a little bit older, and by older I mean I'm nearly 27. I don't think that's old, by the way, but I just mean, you know, as I'm not a teenager anymore and I'm not a complete oily mess all the time, I've really got into wanting my skin to look like skin. You know, even if I were to go out, which never happens anymore because I would much rather be in bed, I will wear kind of a full foundation, but it will still not be like a full coverage cakey foundation and then triangles under the eyes for concealer and baking and all that kind of shit. I just don't like it. Don't think I need it, and I think we need to get to a point where we look at ourselves less critically and we adjust what we're seeing on the internet to thinking about whether we actually need it rather than just copying. And if we are going to copy because we think we need it, we're probably wrong, because everyone probably wears more makeup than they need to. But also maybe thinking about how that technique should look on your face shape, because everyone's face is very different. I'm going to take this Revolution. This is actually the Patricia Bright face palette. I'm really loving the Break platform at the moment, guys. So if you haven't seen that, then I suggest you go and have a look. She did a collection with Revolution. You guys know I'm Revolution mad. They're cruelty-free and vegan, and they do some really lovely products, and actually these textures are really nice. So I'm going to take a teeny bit, literally like a teeny bit, and just take that over the top just so that it doesn't sort of move, but it's such a small amount it's not really kind of mattifying it. I'm going to take a little bit under the jaw also. Hear my dad's radio, I apologise, he's just got in from training and he's making a hell of a lot of noise. I'm actually going to use this blush. I like to place my blush a little bit higher. You can smile and do it right on the apples of the cheeks. I just like it a little bit higher on me and blend that back into the bronzer. This is a little bit of a strange order to do it in, but there you go. I'm then going to do my highlight. This is a weird order. I don't know what is going on. I haven't done my makeup in so long because I've been working. Everyone else has been doing it for me. I'm actually taking that. Ooh, this is really not. Ooh, no, it is nice. I was going to say maybe it's a little bit sort of cool toned for me. I prefer something a little bit warmer. I like the bronze and the blush section of that more than I like the highlight, but the highlight is fine. That's quite nice. Do recommend. You might prefer the highlight. I think it's the colour, not the texture, that's throwing me off, to be honest. I am going to do my brows now because that's what's weirding me out. Again, I'm just going to pop a little bit of pencil through. These are the Revolution ones. I can't remember what the colour is. It's probably ash brown or dark brown. It's the brown colour. It is not super black. This irritates me when they're straight. I always like to bend them. I don't know why. I feel like it's just a little bit kind of easier. The one thing I didn't bring over here is my bloody brow gel. I like to just start at the ends and fill in. As you can see, my brows have filled in a little bit. I've just been kind of tried to grow out the ends a little bit. It's working quite nicely and my brows are, I think, looking really good even naturally. All they need is a little bit of a brush up, and although they're not quite as browy as I generally like them, they still look nice. So pleased with that. Don't know how I've done it. Don't know how I managed to leave them alone, but I have. And these come in loads of different colours. I actually have a load in my makeup kit for when I do other people's makeup, although I have not had a chance to do any kind of MUA stuff for a while, because as soon as I kind of did my SFX stuff and really wanted to start building more of a portfolio and doing some really nice sort of beauty work and stuff, work really kind of kicked off for me, which is wonderful. I'm not knocking it at all. You know, when you just have plans to focus on something else, and like I could still have done modelling in between because I had quite a lot of free time at that time. Didn't really pan out. So yeah, I mean, eternally grateful, but just hasn't quite gone to plan, I guess. So for eyes, I think I'm going to pop a little bit of the Anastasia eye primer. This is a sample thing that I had. I didn't actually buy it. I think whoa, I squirted quite a lot out. I'm going to see if I can, whoop, no. I've got a little bit on the back of my hand and I'm going to pop that over the lid. I've not used this before, but it's been sitting in my drawer for ages. I know some people use concealer. I just think that concealer, particularly if it's one that you can use under your eyes, is generally, what's the word? It's generally a little bit more moisturising. It's meant for your skin not holding eyeshadow. I find if you use a proper eyeshadow base, although concealer seems to work fine for a lot of people, I actually do think it makes the colours pop a little bit better. It's what it's meant for, and although concealer is fine, it's just one of those things where I like to use proper eye primer because I do think actually it makes a bit of a difference. I'm actually going to use this Gosh palette. Now this is, it's new because I haven't used it very much yet, and you guys won't have seen it. I've never seen them before. I got this like several weeks ago and it's been in my stash, so it still counts if you ask me. It's the Identity palette in 002 Be Humble, and they had like 3 or 4 different sets of these, and you can see the size of it and they're really beautiful. And I think Gosh is one of those, it is cruelty free as far as I'm aware as well. And it's just got some really gorgeous kind of really wearable colours, and I thought the size and everything of the palette was just really travel friendly. I think I'm going to start with this middle colour, and I'm going to take this one, which is a little bit darker, and I'm just going to pop that underneath on the same brush because it's just easy every day and we don't care if it's a little bit undone. Then I think I'm just going to take my finger and just pop that over the lid. Now, I would say that metallic is not as metallic as I was actually expecting. However, I think if you're just doing a nice blown out, easy, I've not really tried makeup look, then I don't actually think it matters. I'm just going to buff those edges a little bit more. Just taking a teeny bit of this kind of darker colour, and I'm going to pop that on the outer corner, again with the same brush. I don't I don't think we need to be messing around. If you want to use different brushes because you find it a little bit easier, then go for it, but I don't think you have to. I'm going to do the same and just pop a little bit on this top corner too. So I'm kind of stamping the colour first. Please ignore the fact that I slightly need to do my eyebrows. And then just take a clean brush and just buff those edges just a little bit. These are really pretty for every day. They're kind of similar tonally. And then you've got that kind of gold and the white. They're really nice. They're quite buildable. They don't go on super pigmented, so actually they'd be a really nice starter shadow, but you can build them up again, so I think they're nice. Very nice. So I'm just going to curl my lashes with my Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curlers. We just do a little squeeze, and then you move up a little bit and do a squeeze. And this just stops your eyelashes from going straight up. I think it's important to move your eyelash curler so that you don't get that horrible kind of sticking straight out look. And then I like to just kind of fan them up with my finger. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this, One Smart Cookie is the colour. I'm going to take a little bit of this mascara by Colourpop, and it's in the colour Brownie Points. I have been wearing it lately. I normally wear like really black, but this is actually really nice. And it doesn't flake on me or anything, and it's just a little bit natural, more natural. Got a very similar wand to the Too Faced Better Than Sex, but we don't know her because she flakes on me and we don't support the company, so there we go. If you're looking for a replacement, then I suggest you try this Colourpop one. You can see the wand shape. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. And actually this brown is a really nice colour. You can see it really kind of builds length, but it gives you quite a lot of volume at the roots as well, which I really like. It's going to zoom you out a little bit. That about right? That's probably about right, isn't it? Lip colours. You can see the kind of tones that I like are all these nude tones. This is normally what I wear. I don't know why I have so many of the same bloody colour, but I really like a nude, slightly sheeny lip at the moment. Favourites at the moment would have to be the Fenty Beauty Fenty Glow. It's just the best fucking lip gloss of life. Non-shimmery, very similar colour, not maybe slightly more mauvey, still a brownie nude though, is this e.l.f. one. These are they called the lip oils or something, in Mocha Kiss. This is an all-time favourite. It's got a really nice doe foot applicator as well, which I really enjoy because it's kind of got like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a step in it. See what I mean? So when you pop it to your lip, it stays. It fits. It's really nice. Barry M also doing great things. Really does have like quite a strong smell to it though. So if you have an aversion to strong smelling lip gloss, then maybe not. But this is the colour Bougie. Beautiful, beautiful. And then the Brilliant Shears from Revolution. I have the colour Gone Rogue, which is the darker one, and then RBF. I thought you guys might like to see Gaz because I haven't seen him for this week. So before I pop my lip colour on, here he is. He was making loads of noise, running around. Look, he's not killed anything, it's just raspberry. He's due a bath. I'm not going to scrape that off because it might be sore. He's my little baby. And for those of you who are probably thinking, oh my god, she's kissing the lizard, oh, she's gonna get salmonella, that's not how it works. I'd have to eat his poo, so, you know. Back to makeup. I really like this Revolution one, so I'm gonna use the colour RBF. Apologies, I've been looking a lot in the viewfinder because that mirror is really small, and also from a distance I really want to see what it's looking like for you guys. Oh, so nice. These have a decent amount of pigment to them. That darker one is one that I really like, and I use like very little of it because it comes out really quite dark, but it would make a really beautiful nude on a darker skin. It's quite a dark nude, kind of like a 90s vibe on me, but it would be really beautiful like a nude, like a normal nude for a darker skin tone. Really nice, and they're not super sticky. They feel kind of halfway between like a gloss and a balm. You get that beautiful sheen, but they do have a decent amount of pigment to them. The doe foot applicator is really nice, and as you can see, this RBF colour is a really nice. Do you see what I mean? They have quite a lot of pigment, so if I put more, in fact let's do another layer just to show you. You can layer it up and get like a almost like a full colour with this. So that was the colour RBF. I'm just going to pop a little bit of this powder on. This is the e.l.f. Sheer. I think it's just meant for the under eyes, this one. It's similar to the Benefit one, but so I'm just kind of taking whatever is in the cap, which is not very much at all, on one of my Velu brushes. I love these brushes. And I'm just going to pop a little bit under here because I put some concealer there. And then I'm going to take another, this, but I'm going to then smush it in the cap, and this will do the rest of my face. So I'm going on the forehead a little bit and here. It's really not very much at all. And that is kind of an easy everyday shop my stash. I hope... Ooh, hit my sunglasses that are on the bed there when I threw my brush. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video and that we've had a little catch up. I'm so sorry about the lack of uploads. It's just, you know, I know people come on here and they complain all the time that they're so busy and they haven't had time or they've lost inspiration. I haven't. I actually was really getting into being excited for YouTube again, but you guys know that this doesn't, my videos are monetized, but it doesn't even pay my phone bill every month. Like, I could not live off my YouTube earnings. I think I maybe earn like 700 quid or something if I'm lucky out of the entire year. And that's when I'm being consistent. So I have a normal job, and my normal job takes me away from this background. And I can't be carrying equipment everywhere anytime I go on a plane. So it's frustrating that I can't kind of do that. Apologies, it's just been absolutely mental. I've hardly been home and it's all sort of kicking off, which is amazing, but again, like, it's just, you know, everything's a little bit all over the place at the moment because I'm never home. I'm always packing a suitcase. I literally come home to pack to leave again. The same as I have done today. I got off an overnight flight this morning. Dad picked me up. I filmed straight away when I got in. I've unpacked my suitcase and then I'm off again on Tuesday for a job here, and then I go straight to the airport to stay overnight for a 7 AM flight the next morning to Lanzarote. So it's amazing, don't get me wrong, I'm loving it, but everything's a bit mental, so apologies for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll leave the products and stuff down below, but yeah, this is what I mean. Sometimes less is more. You don't need all that shit. Yeah, wear your skin with pride. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. There's a Hanzilla, there's YouTube channels, all links and stuff below. You know the deal. I'm not going to tell you to follow everything. You know where it all is. And yeah, hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, love you. Bye.